Oh, there's Renata. Hey, Renata. All right, so here we are for call number 3 already. Hi. And are there any questions that either of you have from the last call or from, well, we'll get with the questions for this week, but is there anything for the last couple calls that you have any questions on?
No,
Okay.
it's good. Yeah.
Yeah, Chewy's trying to help me here, and he's managed to get tangled in my headset. Hang on. Thank you, dear. All right. Let's see. There we go. Got my headset back. Okay. All right. So then for this week, I thought I would go ahead and do like we've done in the past, start out with a meditation. So this one is called, it's a morning meditation that you can do when you get up in the morning for gratitude for you. So in the morning, when you wake up, before you get out of bed, and you can do it right now if you'd like, instead of starting to judge yourself or judge your day or go through your schedule or anything, say to yourself, just for today, I will be grateful for me and everything that I have and everything that I am. And be present with you as you, beyond the you that other people see, beyond the you that you present to everybody else. Just be present with that and hold it for like 3 or 4 minutes. And you can go through the things that you're grateful for about you and grateful for about things that you've accomplished, things that you have, things that you are, the way you show up, all those things that you're grateful for about you, and really get in touch with that. And then after a few minutes, you can say thank you and get out of bed. But it's a really great way to start your day because so many people start their day with, oh my goodness, I've got to do this, and I've got to do this, and I've got to do this, and I didn't get this done. And they go through this whole litany of things. And instead, if you could start it out with being grateful for you, it would be an amazing start to your day. And it's also a good thing to do at the end of the day because you can go through all of those things that you actually accomplished. Maybe they were on your to-do list and maybe they weren't, but there were still things that you managed to get done. And really go through that and have gratitude for yourself before you go to bed too, instead of going through all the things that you didn't accomplish, all the things that you didn't get done. Go with what you did. Okay? Alrighty, so let's get on to our questions. Did everybody get a chance to download the questions? Hopefully. And at least look at them. And the first one, good. So then the first one is being grateful for your past. So we went just now, we did being grateful for your present. So what are you grateful for about the things in your past? And I ask you to list at least 5 things. Did you come up with 5 things that you're grateful for? And would you like to share? Are there any you'd like to share, Mary?
Sure. Okay, hang on. Well, the first one I put was surviving. um, the second
Always a
was
good thing, yeah.
always a good thing. Trees and my relationship to them. And making peace with my relationship with my father and my intuition, sensitivity, and finally honed skills for reading people, and also my imagination.
Cool. Renata, do you have 5 things that you're grateful for in your past that you'd like to share? Okay, and so Renata says her mom, dad, sister, brother, her career, and her friends. Nice, thank you. Caroline.
How
Oh, I'm
far?
sorry.
How far?
Well, it is anywhere in your past, things that you're grateful for.
Well, even my son too. He's
Yeah.
24.
I mean, you can go all the way back to when you were a little kid, you know.
Well, my animals, my dogs, so many. I have very good memories.
Good. Very good. And sometimes it helps us to review those. Especially when we start to get to that point where we think that there's nothing that we're happy about in life. It's like, oh, look at all those things that you've had in your life, that you've created, all of that stuff that's in your life. Caroline, do you have 5 things listed from your past that you're grateful for?
Yes. I'm grateful for my grandparents and have been grateful by them for years of my life, like being surrounded by my entire family. And then having a lot of family, my parents, my siblings, my Ford Escape. um, my career, I'm grateful for that. Yeah, just a lot of things.
Cool. Very good. Now, the things in your past that you're not grateful for. And you can share or not. So is there anything that any of you would like to share about things that you're not grateful for?
Yes, I'll go.
Okay.
Being body shamed, having my boundaries violated, my mom abandoning me, and witnessing and experiencing abuse.
Okay. And Caroline or Renata, either of you?
I would probably say some of the things that she just said. Abuse, body shame, and divorce, and just things that happen in life that you don't like.
Okay.
Boundaries. Mm-hmm.
So a lot of those things we carry and we continue to let them poison us. So all of those things in your past that you're not grateful for, all of the place that you're allowing that to take up space in your head, to take up space in your body, to take up space in your life, would you now be willing to destroy and then create all of that and return it to sender with consciousness attached?
Yes.
Right, wrong, good,
Yes.
bad, pod, poc, all nine shorts, boys, and beyonds. And realize that it doesn't mean that you're saying that it was okay, that those were acceptable behaviors. It means that you're not going to allow it to control you anymore. You're not going to allow it to poison you. You're not going to allow it to be your story and be who you are. So anywhere that you had those definitions of what letting go of that would mean, would you destroy and uncreate all that? Right, wrong, good, bad, pod, poc, all nine shorts, boys and beyond. And Caroline, I think I'm going to put you, unless you want to talk, I'm going to put you on mute because there's a lot of interference coming through.
Okay, sure.
So when we let go of the anger and the blame and the shame and the hatred and the regrets about our past, it frees us up from, we call those things distractors. And they're creating distractions in your life so that you can't concentrate and focus on the present because you're still wrapped in those loops from the past. You still have those connections and those anchors to the past that just keep you going back there rather than allowing you to let it go. So all of those anchors that you have to your past, all of those places that are creating those patterns and those loops into those types of activities and into those emotions and into those stories, would you be willing to destroy and uncreate all those? Right, wrong, good, bad, pod, poc, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds.
Yeah.
And then let's look at some of those things and see if there's places in those that you can be grateful for. Things, because so much of the time those things that were difficult for us, those places where we blame ourselves and blame others and we judge ourselves and we just keep looking at how wrong that was that we were part of it and wrong what other people did. And yet, often in those are the places and the events that actually moved us forward. A lot of times we realize that those things taught us things about ourselves. They taught us how strong we were and how resilient we were. Taught us who had our back, who was there for us, we could count on. And then the other as well taught us who we couldn't count on, who didn't really have our back. And sometimes the things that we weren't grateful for, like maybe the opportunities that we think we missed or the things that didn't come about that we were hoping for, oftentimes those turned out to be because there was something better. One of the things that I had happen to me along those lines was I was going for a job interview as I was getting ready to get out of college. And it was really going to be a really good job. And I'm going through the interview and I'm going through the interview and the guy asked me something about where I saw myself in the future and I said I'd like to move to Florida. Well, my job interview was over at that point because that was not an acceptable answer for him. So I ended up taking a job that I wasn't really happy with, but it was money and it was experience that I was working actually for Kmart in their computer department for their distribution center. But what that ended up doing was that allowed me to have Christmas off. And for Christmas, I came to Florida and I saw an ad in the paper for software engineers at the space shuttle, on the space shuttle program. And I applied and I got the job. So had I not screwed up that interview in the first place, I probably would not have been here at Christmas and I would not have worked on the space shuttle program. So that's one of those things that it turned out better by losing the original opportunity than if I'd gotten it. And then some other things I'm sure that we're talking about abuse and that sort of thing, and relationships that ended badly. I've had a number of relationships that ended badly. But what that did was that got those people out of my life. And it allowed me to see what all the places that I had cut pieces of myself off to keep that relationship in place. All of the places that I was willing to say that I wasn't important because keeping this relationship in my life was more important. So if you have some of those, congratulate yourself on getting rid of them and realize that it allowed you to move beyond that and to find people who were actually a contribution to your life. So all of the failed relationships and the failed opportunities and all of those things that you judge yourself for having in your life and judge yourself for having required those and judge yourself and blame yourself and just keep looping back on all of those and why in the world you thought you had to have those in your life and experience that, would you destroy and uncreate all that? Right, wrong, good, bad, pod, poc, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. Yes, Renita, I see you. Because sometimes once we finally get out of the fog that we created so that we wouldn't notice the things that we weren't letting go of, so that we wouldn't notice how much we'd cut off of ourselves in order to keep those relationships, suddenly we realize all those possibilities that are available to us now and how much better life can be once we let go of all of that. So yes, I've been there and I've got the t-shirt, but you don't have to keep doing that. You can let it go and be grateful that you came through it. And then all that crap that you've allowed to take up residence with the blame, shame, regret, and guilt over it, destroy and uncreate all that and return it to sender with consciousness attached. Right, wrong, good, bad, pod, poc, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. So any questions or comments that anybody has about that?
Yes.
Okay.
I've been able to turn most of the things, have the gratitude for most things, right? And see in the bigger picture how things work. But I guess with the body shaming, I'm not sure. Can you help me create something different around that?
Yeah, so all the places that people have judged your body and shamed you for your body and that you've shamed yourself for your body, those are often the places that, they're actually generally trying to just make you feel small and feel insignificant and feel inferior so that they can feel better. So it's always about them.
You know
It's
what? I think now that we're talking, it feels it's more like attracting attention in that
that you were attracting attention or they were trying to attract.
yeah, like that, like there was a lot of, I guess, attention placed on my body, how I looked, and sometimes that felt good and other times it didn't. You know what I mean? So I guess it's not always there's some of the disparaging things, but there's also the opposite of that.
Okay. So then now you're making yourself wrong for having done it that way. Is that where we're going with that?
No, it's the I guess the emphasis being placed on how I looked, how my body looked, right? Instead of so I guess I kind of put that under the umbrella of body shaming, but it's
Okay.
so it's more about my my appearance, right, versus something else, having the importance
Okay. So
versus me.
everywhere that you've used your body to make you feel important and make you feel attractive, and that you've used it the way other people thought was perhaps inappropriate in order to do that, would you be willing to destroy and uncreate all that?
Yes.
Right, wrong, good, bad, pod, poc, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. And everywhere that you're afraid that you're going to do that again, to destroy and uncreate all that.
Yes.
Right, wrong, good, bad, pod, poc, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. Because yes, I've done things that people didn't think was appropriate, like wearing clothing that people didn't think was appropriate. And then they tried to make me feel bad and tried to say that, all the things that they said that were not kind at that point. But I did it because I wanted to be noticed. I had lost like 50 pounds or something and I wanted people to notice it. But other people thought that that was being a slut. And so that was not appropriate at the time. So everything that comes up about that and all of the definitions that you have of how your body should be and how you should use your body and shouldn't use your body, and all of the judgments and the expectations and the projections and calculations and computations that people have sent you and you've sent other people about how that should have all looked and all turned out, would you destroy and uncreate all that and return it to sender with consciousness attached?
Yes.
Right, wrong, good, bad, pod, poc, all nine shorts. Is that touching it?
Yeah, we're close. We're kind of circling it.
Okay.
It's it's I guess like a distortion, like being valued for your body,
Okay.
and then having, I guess, that projected on you, and then but then internalizing that and thinking, well, that's the way you get attention or love or whatever, and so then doing different things to my body, what what could be considered positive or negative in relation to that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Putting on extra weight because I don't want attention, or oh, uh, you know, well, I want this person's attention so I can, create a provocative image. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Where it goes both ways.
Yeah. So all the things that you've done to your body in order to attract attention or avoid attention, or to fulfill the definitions and the expectations that other people had of what you had to be in order to be attractive or had to be in order to create what it is you wanted to have in your life, would you destroy and uncreate all that?
Yes. Oh my God.
Right, wrong, good, bad, pod, poc, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds, and all the judgments that you have of yourself, and all the places that you're trying to now hide yourself from that and hide that from you and hide it from your body, would you destroy and uncreate all that?
Yes.
Right, wrong, good, bad, pod, poc, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. Yeah. And we have spent so much time in our lives being told how to use our body or not use our body, and giving all those orders to our body to do those different things in order to create what we think we want or what we think that's going to create, and it doesn't always. So, and then we get to that point where, oh, what was I doing and why was I doing it and how wrong am I for all of that? So would you be willing to destroy and uncreate all of that and everything that it's creating now?
Yes.
Right, wrong, good, bad, pod, poc, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. So if we finally get to it.
Yeah. Really, yeah. Boom, it pierced it. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah. So when those things start coming up, it's again, what did I choose at the time that I thought I was wrong for? And now I'm blaming myself for it, or I'm trying to pretend that I wasn't wrong for it, trying to make myself right for it. And all of those conflicts that that's creating within you, would you destroy and uncreate all that?
Yes.
Right, wrong, good, bad, pod, pog, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. Cool. Anybody else? Or did you have more on that, Mary?
Wow, I was trying to like take notes. I couldn't even write anything.
Well, that's pretty cool because a lot of times when that happens or we can't even hear it and you have to ask for it to be repeated 2 or 3 times, that's because that's what's really getting to you.
Yeah, I
That's
mean,
what's
I'd love
really
for you
getting
to
to the root of
repeat
it.
that
It'd be
first
great
time.
if I could, wouldn't it?
Yeah, we'll have to listen to the recording.
Yeah, you'll probably have to listen to the recording, but it's all those places that you've judged how that needs to show up, how it needs to be, and where you're hiding from yourself and hiding from your body about what you created with that, or making yourself right or wrong for it. Either one, would you destroy and uncreate all that?
Yes.
Right, wrong, good, bad, pod, pog, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. Because it's, we try to a lot of times we try to pretend that we didn't do it. Or we try to justify and defend why we did it or why we didn't do it. And so when we start doing that, then that's always you're making excuses now.
Well, yeah, and I realized it's just a real subtle program, but to create my, I mean, boy, yeah, create myself, my appearance to please someone else,
Yeah,
especially a man.
yeah.
Ugh.
So all the places that you are creating or trying to create an appearance to please somebody else rather than pleasing you and your body instead, would you destroy and uncreate all that?
Yes.
Right, wrong, good, bad, pod, poc, all nine sorts, boys and beyonds.
Whew.
There you go.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. So now that we've all stopped choking on that one, let's move on.
Yeah.
All right, so going to release what isn't working, which some of that falls into that as well. But the questions that I had was at least 3 things that you believe aren't working in your life. And then 3, if anybody wants to share, that's fine.
I will.
Go for it,
well,
Mary.
well, well, we got the deeper connection to my body, so that was one. The other two is love relationships and my relationship to money.
Okay. Anybody else? Okay. Then 3 things that you believe are working and that you don't want to change. Okay. So when it comes to the things that we don't, go ahead, Mary.
Okay. The things that are my ability to connect. I mean, I always know there's room for improvement, right? So that was a little bit hard. But my ability to connect to people, my optimism, and also my ability to forgive.
Okay. Anybody else? All right. So with the things that we either think aren't working or the things that we don't want to change, what defines that those things work or don't work? What does it create for you to want to change them or not to change them? Because a lot of times we have these definitions of these things and it just doesn't necessarily mean what you think it means. You decide that, oh, this is perfect in my life and I don't want it to change. But then what other things do you have to not change in order to keep that from changing? And how many ripples do you have out in order to keep that in place? A lot of times we do that with relationships. Again, it's the parts of you that you cut off so that you keep that relationship so that it doesn't change. And then it ends up changing so many other things in your life in order to keep that thing not to change, that frequently it ends up changing what it is you didn't want to change anyway, because you've destroyed so many other parts of your life to get there. And I use this, and it's a silly example, but it's kind of works. Let's say that you decided that you always wanted to have your right arm up because that's the perfect thing in your life. Now, what else in your life do you have to change in order to keep your right arm up? Well, you got to change how you get dressed, because a lot of things just don't work if you can't lower your right arm. What can't you carry now? Driving with only one arm can often be difficult. All sorts of things in your life you have to alter or stop doing because you're trying not to change that one thing, which is keeping your arm up. So look at the things in your life that you've decided are perfect and you never want them to change. And what parts of your life are you not doing things in order to keep that in place? Like a lot of people will do things like, in order to keep this relationship going, I'm not going to accept this new job that I want, or I'm not going to go to this activity that I'd like to go to, or I'm not going to have these friends because this person doesn't like those friends. You have to look at what those things are creating in your life, and is that what you'd like to have? Maybe, maybe not. If it's what you'd like to have, great. If it's not, then you need to look at what is it that is so important about that thing that I don't want to change, that it's screwing everything else up in my life, and is it worth it? And Mary, I think I cut you off. Did you have another comment?
Um, no, no. I mean, I do get that. I mean, I get the what you're not willing to change, but what about the stuff that you know that's not working that you need to change? So does that mean we're holding on to something someplace else?
Well, normally when you have things that aren't working in your life, you're not allowing yourself to be aware of what's creating that on some level. And there's some reason that you're rewarding yourself, or you think you have to keep punishing yourself by keeping that thing in your life. So what rewards and punishments do you have about that keep it showing up in your life? And
Mm,
everything that is, will you destroy and uncreate it all?
yeah.
Right, wrong, good, bad, pod, poc, online, shorts, boys, and beyonds. And where I say rewards, you reward yourself in all sorts of ways. Now, whether it's rewards that you think are really good or not, that is, you know, a lot of times your rewards are what you think you deserve. So what do you think you deserve? Or what do you think you don't deserve? And are you rewarding yourself by making sure that you only get what you believe you deserve? And everything that is, we destroy and uncreate it all.
Yes.
Right, wrong, good, bad, pod, poc, online, shorts, boys, and beyonds. And the other thing is, what is it that made you decide you had to have that thing? Or what is it that makes you decide that that thing is staying here and you can't get rid of it? So what definitions do you have of that thing that is keeping it around? What connection points do you have about it? What reference points do you have about it? What secrets and lies are holding it in place? And everything that is, we destroy and uncreate it all.
Yes.
Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, poc, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. And all of the, I had it just for a second what I was going to say. Anyway, it'll come to me.
The implants.
Yeah, and yes, you have, you've got the Shiku implants and the secret, hidden, covert agendas, secrets and lies, and you've got all the oaths and vows, swearings, fealties, communities, blood oaths, promises, commitments, covenants, contracts, curses, bindings, sentences, duties, punishments, contracts, and all these other things that from any lifetime, dimension, reality, place, space, or time, that's creating that. That's creating that you have to keep that, that you have to have that in place at all times. And all of that would you now revoke, recant, reclaim, rescind, renounce, denounce, destroy, and uncreate it all and let it go.
Yes.
Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all nine shorts, boys, and beyonds. Because did you say in some lifetime, yes, I'll always have that with me, or I'll always do that, or I'll always be there, I'll always be with this person, I'll always have this thing with me? And is that working for you now?
Mm.
And obviously, if you say it isn't working, then it's probably not really working.
Right.
So then asking what's the next step for letting that go can be huge.
Okay, so how do you apply that to money?
How many lifetimes have you decided that poverty was better? Being the starving artist or the starving whatever, or being an impoverished monk or whatever was better than having money, or that money was the root of all evil.
You know, it feels really connected to the whole body thing, right? Creating to, it's almost please or not upset other people. Wow, how sick is
Yeah.
that?
So how many people have you decided you can't have more money than? Like, are there people in your family that you can't have more money than them? You know, have you decided you can't have more money than your parents had, or than your grandparents had, or that you can't be the richest person in your family because then everybody else would be mad at you? So everything that brings up or lets down in your life, would you destroy and uncreate it all?
Yes.
Right, wrong, good, bad, pod, poc, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds.
Yeah. Boy, there's something else there. The
So what with the body thing, all right, I'm just going to go ahead and say what's popping into my head.
yeah, don't
So
hold
all
back.
of the places that having money equated to prostitution for you, would you destroy and uncreate all that?
Yes.
Right, wrong, good, bad, pod, poc, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. And therefore you didn't want to have money so that people didn't think you were a prostitute, or wouldn't think you were a prostitute.
Right. Well, right. Uh, and the I don't know. It seems like there's some covert agenda going on too. You know what I mean? That if
Yeah.
I,
So the secret, hidden, covert agenda, secrets and lies associated with that and making it your reality, we just try and create all that.
yes.
Right, wrong, good, bad, pod, poc, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. I mean, how many times have you heard, or at least I know I've heard it at work, um, well, who did that person sleep with in order to have that job? Or in order to get that raise?
You know what? It's not making other people feel uncomfortable. It's like, you know, if
Yeah.
somebody's telling you their sad money story, you've got one too, or you know what I mean? Like, or you've created something out of nothing. And yeah. Um,
And then you want everybody else to feel comfortable around you so you don't
uh-huh.
have more
Uh,
money than they do.
uh-huh. Uh-huh. Yeah.
Yeah. So everywhere that you've lessened yourself and made yourself small and made yourself impoverished and all these other things in order to make other people comfortable and happy around you, would you destroy and uncreate all that?
Yes.
Right, wrong, good, bad, pod, poc, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds.
That makes my head hurt.
Good. Because we do these crazy things just so that people will like us, just so that they'll feel comfortable around us, just so they won't hate us. just so they won't say things behind our back about us and judge
Right.
us.
Judge us. Yeah.
So all the judgments that you've had sent to you and all the projections and the expectations of what money you should have or shouldn't have from any lifetime, dimension, reality, place, space, or time, will you now destroy and uncreate all that and return it to sender with consciousness attached?
Yes.
Right, wrong, good, bad, pod, poc, all nine shorts, boys, and beyonds.
Right. It's that same thing with the appearance, right? You know, if
Yes.
you're given, I don't know, good looks or whatever, you know what I mean, that you should do something with that. And yeah, have
Or
you
you
wasted
shouldn't
it
do
or
things with that.
right or whatever. Yeah. Um,
Or
yeah, I had
other,
someone tell me once, you can't, you shouldn't waste pretty. I'm like,
yeah,
what is that?
exactly. And they also tell you things like, you shouldn't be doing that with your money. There's better ways that you should be spending your money.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you're not spending it the appropriate way, then there's more judgments. You know?
Yes. Right. Or you get yourself into a bind, then boy, the judgment's just like
Yeah,
skyrocket.
exactly. So what did you do that you deserved that?
Oh, bam.
Yeah. So everything that brings up, we destroy and uncreate it all.
Yeah.
Right, wrong, good, bad, pod, poc, all nine shorts, boys, and beyonds.
Well, which just circles back kind of just like the body stuff that
Yep,
then I'm waiting for some man or knight in shining armor to come and rescue me.
yep.
I'm done with the damsel in distress
There
story.
you go. Yeah. So again, like I've got in question 11, what are you postponing for your life for? What are you postponing and not inviting to show up in your life because you think you have to have the knight in shining armor, or because you think you have to have the better job or the better house or the people showing up in your relationships, all of those things that you won't allow yourself to be happy until you have that. And therefore, you're postponing your life, the rest of your life, waiting on that. And then again, how much weight are you putting on to wait for that?
Yeah.
Not that I've ever done this, by the way, I just want you to know that.
Yeah, that was really a powerful question though. What are you waiting for? What are you postponing your life for? And I realized, boy, a lot. Like my great relationship's going to happen when I have my shit together, when I'm successful, when I've mastered my money,
Yeah,
yeah, when I'm worthy. Yeah.
yeah. So how much do you have to be worthy before you can have anything like that?
Yeah.
And what definitions do you have of what worthy means?
Mm.
And a lot of times we wait till we fit our definitions or till other people fit our definitions. And so when you start looking at what defines that, is that really what you'd like to wait for?
Mm.
So, in question 11, we'll come back to 10. In 11, what are you waiting for? What are you postponing your life for? Who are you postponing your life for? And again, if you're waiting on your knight in shining armor to show up, you know, where did that horse come from? All those silly things.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah. So what is my definition of worth or worthy?
Yeah. What, and you don't have to have the definition. It's just get that energy of what defines that you're worth something, that you're worth having this. And everything that is, would you destroy and uncreate it all?
Yes.
Right, wrong, good, bad, pod, poc, all nine shorts, boys and beyond. How many definitions do you have creating what you consider to be a worthy life
Mm.
or a worthy relationship or a worthy body?
Or a worthy amount of money. Yeah.
Yes, Renee, I'm trying to make it as difficult as possible. I'm reading the chat room here.
I didn't want to make you responsible on a record.
But yes, and it is that, and Renata said that she's appreciating all of your questions. So yeah, it's part of creating, your life that you think is a worthwhile life. And when you're looking at what money you do or don't have, is it because you think that you're not doing something worthwhile with your money?
Mm.
Or other people think you're not doing something worthwhile with your money? Now, Topaz, honey, you're trying to step on the keyboard again. The joy of having cats. So, yeah. So what else is it that you've got that you've defined about what the appropriate amount of money is, what the appropriate body is, what the appropriate lifestyle is, and all of those things that keep you from actually having a life that's worth living, a life that's fun, a life that you enjoy, a life that contributes to you, and that keeps you from doing what really works for you and your body, and actually asking your body what it would like to have and be and look like and all of that, because you've decided it has to be a particular way. So everything that brings up, would you destroy and uncreate it all?
Yes.
Right, wrong, good, bad, pod, poc, all nine shorts, boys and bone. So, yeah, Renata says, I made myself wrong when I left my money in Venezuela. It was like I said to the universe, I didn't need it. Yeah, so once you tell the universe, oh, I don't need that, then the universe says, oh, okay, then we won't bother to give it to you again. So everywhere that you have uninvited money into your life, would you destroy and uncreate all that?
Yes.
Right, wrong, good, bad, pod, poc, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. And everywhere that you've told the universe that you don't need money, or you don't need a relationship, or you don't need all these things that you'd like to have, but you keep telling it somehow that you don't need it, would you destroy and uncreate all that?
Yes.
Right, wrong, good, bad, pod, poc, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. And so what would it take you to actually ask the universe for the things that you would like to have in your life? And just say, universe, I would like to have this. I would like to have more than enough money to pay off all my bills, let my um, cats live in luxury, and and still travel all year, half of the year. What would that take? And then anything that doesn't allow that to show up, I destroy and uncreate it all. Right, wrong, good, bad, pod, poc, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. And then everywhere that I've decided I can't have any of that, destroy and uncreate all that. Right, wrong, good, bad, pod, poc, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. And then say, universe, what's my next step to create that? How do we do that? And what's the first step? Or what's the next step? And see what starts showing up.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And so did anybody else have anything for what are you postponing your life for, and who are you postponing your life for that you'd like to talk about? Okay. So go ahead. right? So we're about 7 minutes of 1. And I did want to let you know, I mean, we'll carry questions 10 and I think 12 and 13 to the next call. And what I'm going to be sending you is that along with these 4 calls, you also get a half-hour one-on-one session with me to talk about what's coming up for you, or ask any questions that you may not have wanted to ask in the group. So I'm going to be sending you the link to schedule that half-hour session. Now, I will be out of town the 31st of July through the 4th of August, so you won't be able to make any appointments in that period of time, but you can make them whenever you'd like after this call. Well, after you get the link, which probably will be like half an hour or so, because I'll wait till I can at least send you the download from today's call. But I just wanted to let you know that that was coming up. Does anybody have any other questions from today? Okay. So everything that you're postponing in your life because
This was
you're
all
waiting.
really,
I'm sorry, what?
I said this was all really juicy stuff today.
Good. Good. I'm glad that it helped.
I'm going to play with the worthy.
Yeah, and if you come up with some really different wording that works for you, you can share it with us next time if you'd like, so that we all get the
Yeah,
clearing.
well, I didn't say wording. I said worthy.
Oh, worthy. Yeah.
Worthy, yeah.
Because when we don't believe that we're worthy, then we believe we don't deserve the things that we're saying we would like to have in our life.
Yes.
So every place that you have said that you are not worthy of all the things that you said you'd like to have, and all the conflicts that that's creating within you and within your life, and that's preventing you from actually creating a life that you would like to be living, would you destroy and uncreate all that?
Yes.
Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all 9 shorts, boys and beyonds.
You know, I realized as you're saying that a lot of times I'm waiting for someone else to give that to me.
Yeah. Yeah. Everywhere you're waiting on somebody else to fulfill that for you, waiting on
Woo!
them to
Waiting.
make
There's a
you
lot of
happy
waiting going on.
because you deserve to have everybody else make you happy. You don't have to do it yourself, right? Somebody else has to make you happy. So everything that brings up, would you destroy and uncreate it all?
Yes.
Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all 9 shorts, boys and beyonds. And then Renata said, yes, wow, to actually love ourselves. And that's true. All the places where you don't love yourself, where you dislike yourself because you haven't created the things that you would like to have in your life, and therefore you blame yourself because obviously you're too stupid to do it, and you don't know what you're doing, and you don't deserve it. So why would anybody else want to be with you? And everything that brings up, would you destroy and uncreate it all?
Yes.
Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all 9 shorts, boys and beyonds. Yeah, we think we love ourselves, but sometimes we don't. And it's true. We have so much judgment. We sit in judgment of ourselves so much rather than allowing ourselves to love ourselves, have gratitude for ourselves, appreciate ourselves, and know that we're worth so much more than what we think we are. And we are so much more amazing than we give ourselves credit for. We've created so many more wonderful things than we will acknowledge. And all that we can look at is what we don't have and what we haven't created and the things that aren't showing up, rather than saying, you know, I created all this stuff in my life. Even if it's crap, I created it, right? I've got to be really good at that. So I am such an amazing creator, even if it's a creator of crap. And what would it take for me to create what I'd really like to have in my life? And anything that doesn't allow that to show up, would you destroy and uncreate it all? Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all 9 shorts, boys and beyonds. So I had a series that I did on Facebook Live couple of weeks ago called 7 Steps to Realign Your Life. And I'll send you the link so that you can listen to it on YouTube. And I'm also doing a call tomorrow called Clearings and Clarity for Christmas in July. That's going to be an hour of whatever clearings people would like to have. So I invite you to join me for that. I'm going to go ahead and gift that to you ladies. So I'll send you the link to join me tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern. And bring what you'd like to clear, because anything that you ask, I'll come up with a clearing for it. And you'll get the recording. So.
Wow. Yay.
Yay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Anything else that anybody has as a question or? Oh, and Renata says how it looks to really love ourselves. All the definitions that you have of what it doesn't look like to love yourself, or what it does look like to love yourself, and everywhere you think you're not loving yourself properly, would you destroy and uncreate all that? There you go. Right, wrong, good, bad, pod, poc, all 9 shorts, boys and beyonds. Very cool. All right, ladies. Thank you so much for joining me today. And I look forward to some of you being on the call tomorrow and on the call next week. Remember, it's next Tuesday at noon. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.